The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Law number 31. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Your victims feel they are in control, but are actually your puppets. Give people options that come out in your favor, whichever one they choose. Force them to make choices between the lesser of two evils, both of which serve your purpose. Put them on the horns of a dilemma. They are gored wherever they turn. Ivan the Terrible had to confront an unpleasant reality. The country desperately needed reform, but he lacked the power to push it through. The greatest limit to his authority came from the boyars, the Russian princely class that dominated the country and terrorized the peasantry. In 1553, at the age of 23, Ivan fell ill. Lying in bed and nearing his death, he asked the boyars to swear allegiance to his son as the new Tsar. Some hesitated, some refused, and Ivan saw that the boyars could not be reasoned with. When he recovered, he did not forget that valuable lesson. The boyars defected to Poland and Lithuania, the latter by one of Ivan's closest friends, Andrei Kurbsky, who became Ivan's greatest enemy. Not only the boyars caused him grief, Russia's vast size made it a nightmare to defend. Whatever direction Ivan would have turned, he'd leave his back wide open for a stab. December 3rd, 1564, Ivan had left the capital to a nearby village, leaving the Tsar's treasures and provisions behind without any explanation. Moscow's population feared that Ivan had left them behind, to be slaughtered by the boyars. As a result, they begged the Tsar to come back.
"Please, Tsar, please, come back and rule us again,"
blaming the boyars for their betrayal. Ivan listened, but would not change his mind. A few days later, the begging had not stopped, and he gave them a choice. In the same way the Godfather gave the choice of either signing the contract or getting shot in the head. What was it? Either your name comes on the paper or your brain or something like that. Ivan would either rule as a dictator or not at all, leaving them vulnerable for whoever pleased to take the throne. They accepted his terms and could no longer rebel against the dictatorship they had chosen. This is important. They had made the choice. Words like freedom, options, and choice evoke a power of possibility far beyond the reality of the benefits they entail. When examined closely, the choices we have in the marketplace, in elections, in our jobs, tend to have noticeable limitations. They are often a matter of choice simply between A and B, with the rest of the alphabet out of the picture. As long as the faintest mirage of choice flickers on, we rarely focus on the missing options. We choose to believe that the game is fair and that we have our freedom. We prefer not to think too much about the depth of our liberty to choose. We are unwilling to probe the smallness of our choices that stems from the fact that too much freedom creates a kind of anxiety. The phrase unlimited options sounds infinitely promising, but unlimited options would actually paralyze us and cloud our ability to choose. Our limited range of choices comforts us. Appear to give options where there are none. This is what the law is about. As long as people feel they've been able to make their own decision between options considering the pros and cons of them all, they will behave in a more positive manner, complying with what you want. And that is it for this law. Be sure to check out part 2, in which you're introduced to 7 of the most common forms of controlling the options. Thanks for watching.